All right, we're gonna be going back to the location where I was stalked by a cougar. It happened at night, so it was super spooky. I've wanted to go back ever since to kind of see if I can see any tracks or if there was maybe a kill that it was on, because it did not want to move that location, but then it followed me out and back to my car where I had parked. So stick around, let's see what we can find. All right, it looks as though I actually have set this up right. Hopefully, yeah, there you go. Now you can probably see me without, there's a little bit of glare, but we've arrived and all is well. The trash has not moved. All the trash bags and mattress and a broken chair has not moved. So hopefully neither has the mountain lion tracks. I'm kind of curious as to what we'll find. Let's take a walk. It's a pretty long walk and hike back in there, but let's give it a go. So I've moved out of the wind. Let me kind of explain what was going on when I did this hike where I was stalked by a cougar. So I'm in California hiking around. And I kind of was hiking for like 6 hours. I got here at noon, and I think I recorded it at 5:30. I was hiking out, and I already explained it a little bit, but I had for the one chance that I actually brought a headlamp with me, I was wearing it, kind of scouting around on the way back out at night, and I shine across two eyes, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a coyote, maybe it's a deer. And then when it kind of stepped out of where it was a cat. I fully identified it, positive identified it as a cat, and its eyes, were up front. And it kind of just like looked at me, and I wasn't so much scared as more of just like, all right, like, can I go by, or are you gonna like mess with me? And I didn't have any weapons on me. I didn't have bear spray like I do right now, which, by the way, might be expired, so I don't even know if it's good. Might just be something I throw at the thing. And I kind of started recording it and throwing rocks at it. And, being big, but you're in the dark, so it's like, well, I guess they have night vision so they can see, or they can see better at night, not night vision. And so I kind of just took a wider turn. I went off trail to kind of scoot by it, and it started following me down the trail as I'm walking backwards. And as I'm recording on my iPhone, which I'm not even gonna include the footage because it's so bad, it's black, and all you're gonna see, you won't see anything. You'll just hear me being stupid. And as I'm recording, someone gives me a phone call, and then they ask, what I was up to. But it was weird because I've been around the outdoors for the last like 5 years, since I started hunting 5 years ago, or maybe it's 4, but I feel like it's 5. I mean, like last year I hunted 220 days of the whole year. So it's weird to not see a cougar, and seeing signs everywhere, but not seeing a cougar until I got back in California, and with only a few days left of what would have been the hunting season. So I kind of was walking around during the hunting season, and yeah, it's just weird. So anyways, it's getting windy. Let's see what we can go and find. That gorgeous hunk of mountain is where we are going, up in there, kind of at the foothill of it. It's pretty cool looking, I think. I like being up here. It's not too far of a drive from where I live, and it's always good weather in California, so let's get to it. What's kind of funny is I'm now at the base of the trail, and I look down and there's paw prints, and it's like, yeah, no crap, there's gonna be paw prints. Hopefully the wind, I'm trying to deflect the wind. But it's funny seeing that there's fresh paw prints. Luckily they're kind of going the other way, so
and this is gonna be one of the larger cat species. This isn't a dog, just because of the way it is, that kind of clover. I think there's a spring up here, and it's kind of cool because, you know, I'm walking into this unsure if I can actually get footage that doesn't waste your time, the viewer, because that would be annoying as all hell. You watch the whole thing. Yeah, this is it's wild. All of these tracks. Oh, that's not a bad one. These are all freaking cougar tracks. And it's freaking trippy to be back in here. And I don't know, I guess I should be worried and spooked. But I don't know, dude, for some reason I haven't, it's kind of crappy, but I haven't been really that freaked out in a while. But it is weird to see, I guess. Without a doubt, I should be afraid, probably. But this is, I guess, what happens when you live in cougar country. But it is quite wild to actually come in here and get legit cougar paws. What's great is you can hear the wind. So I have a question for you. What does that mean if you have wind, you have a predator? What could be your defense? I'll give you a second. You might say, oh, bear spray. So let me re-ask the question. This time, including bear spray, you got a predator, you've got wind, you've got bear spray. This is why you should, as a person anywhere in the United States, be allowed to carry a gun. Because that wind, where I was 60 miles an hour in grizzly bear country. And luckily it's only maybe 5 miles an hour at most here. But still, if you don't play that right and you launch bear spray, you better hope that it's going in the right way. You better hope that wind's playing with you, because guess what's gonna happen if that wind's going the opposite way. Just food for thought. And I'm not trying to shove gun control and gun rights down anyone's throat, but it is something to consider. That is, to me, a very good argument on why, as even just a hiker, you should be allowed to carry in California without anything, because these are everywhere. These cougars are everywhere, and they're not being managed anymore by hunters. So let's continue and see what we find. Okay, maybe this is a better angle and whatnot, but we're approaching where I initially saw the eyes. And what was kind of cool about this was I was coming off the hill after hiking a couple miles, and normally I don't bring a headlamp because I'm stupid. And this time I actually did, so it was nighttime, and I was like, cool, I'll pull out the headlamp. Well, oh, sorry, there's a little bit of wind. But as I was coming, I shined a deer with the headlamp, and I freaked out. I was like, what the is that? And then I kind of figured, wow, wouldn't that be weird if, you know, maybe I came across a mountain lion. Okay, so I thought, yeah, wouldn't that be weird if, you know, I came across a mountain lion? And so as I kept going, I, lo and behold, shine my light and completely lit up a mountain lion with the light. And this is kind of where it was. We're gonna go in just a little bit deeper, but This is the third time I've had this happen. Maybe fourth. And what's funny is I've been gone all summer, and I'm currently in California, but I haven't been here all of the summer because of various reasons, but mostly because of COVID. I got a job elsewhere out of state, and where I worked was in grizzly bear country, and everyone out there said, "Oh, I'm way more afraid of cougars than grizzly bears." And I was like, "Ah, you guys are crazy. I'm way more afraid of grizzly bears than cougars." And so when I saw this one, I thought of all those people that were telling me different. "No, man, you got to worry about the cougars." And I've seen them before. It's not too ridiculous. I spend a lot of time in these mountains, so it's not too crazy. And there's signs everywhere. I'll include some photos of both paws and just droppings from cats. But yeah, I just thought that was quite funny. And then started stalking me and walking after me as I'm leaving. And I recorded it with my iPhone, but you can't see anything, so it was just pointless. It was just me talking for like 3.5 minutes. And then of course someone calls me and said, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I was like, "I'm currently getting stalked by a cougar." But yeah, I don't know if you could see that bear spray on me at the time. I wish I would have. I would have felt probably a little bit more safe. And normally when I'm outside of California, I'll carry a sidearm. But because it's California, they hate guns. They want to take away your guns. So you don't get to carry firearms in California. So this is what happens, is both the bears and cougars in California are not afraid of you. Whatever. So let's take a walk around. You know, it's been a few days, and the rain just came through, and it kind of snowed / hailed, because it was a mix of both. So I'm surprised, and also not surprised that, we aren't finding anything. But it is just kind of cool to come back. It's kind of stupid, but I'm not too worried that I'll come across it, because for the amount of time I've spent outdoors, I have had very little experience face to face with mountain lions. What's funny is right as I'm walking out and kind of let down, thinking I won't find a sign, that right there is it's no deer, and there aren't cattle in this area. So without a doubt, there's some sign. There was one. So it's not a complete bummer video. I don't know if any of you watching this, hopefully it's not too clickbaity, watching this expected to see a mountain lion come and grab my throat. But yeah, just interesting just to come back. And I respect cats or whatever, but at the same time, I think they need to be managed. But in California, they don't allow for that. Anyways, let's continue the hike out. So I realized as I'm hiking out, probably some things that I should mention, that I've spent a lot of times outdoors, and if maybe you're looking at this video. What? I think I see it. Oh my god, I think I see a fucking cougar. Let's see what that is. I don't think there's a way I can get footage of this thing without... I just don't think there's a way I can get footage of this thing. And I do apologize, because that's kind of honeyducking. As I was getting into that spot, I saw a bunch of cat prints, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And there was people actually on this trail, and they didn't say anything. They were cool. They asked me what I was doing. I was like, nothing, trying to find a cougar. And And I'm making this video about to say to the YouTube audience, hey, this is what, you know, I brought, and this is what you should probably bring with you next time. And I look across the canyon, maybe, probably not 1,000 yards, maybe like 500-600 yards, pretty far. But I could see it walking away from me, kind of like a jog walk, and it's looking back at me because I'm talking, you know, as loud as I'm talking now. And it's a cougar. So what I thought were prints that were, you know, from this morning, because it rained last night. What I thought it was this morning, it was maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 2 hours. But I just thought that was crazy. And I'm glad this video actually ended out with something interesting and not just... And what sucks is my iPhone, I have an iPhone 6 in what is now 2021, and it doesn't zoom. Like, it does, but it's not worth wasting your time with that footage. You wouldn't have seen anything. And I'm on a GoPro now, so it doesn't zoom. So to conclude this video, whenever I go back out, I'm going to bring bear spray. That's kind of, you really shouldn't rely on it, I guess. And now that there's no wind, you can more rely on it than when it was windy earlier. But I wasn't too worried right now because I have the bear spray, and also, like, I don't know, I'm just not worried. So I'd suggest, if you're going to be in mountain lion country, which is kind of everywhere western United States and Florida, you get bear spray. It's like $30, and which is, you know, it's not the easiest amount of money to spend for some, especially me. But it's like, okay, what if you don't die, but now you got to pay for all the hospital bills of getting freaking chewed on? So just get $30 bear spray or whatever. I forget who makes it, but I think it's $30. And then the second would be a headlamp, because normally I don't carry a headlamp, and it's good to be aware of what the heck is going on around you and be able to illuminate everything that is going on around you. So I won't be leaving home without either of those now, because normally I do. And if you're allowed to carry a gun, that's actually what I would suggest more than the bear spray. Maybe bring both, because there's definitely a time where either one is better. However, if you're going to carry the gun, you need to be training with it. Because it's funny, I'm listening to things break and I can't see because the sun's in my eye. And I'm maybe a mile away from where I saw that cougar. So who knows, maybe it's right here and we get another visit and you get to watch me die on camera. But if you're gonna bring a gun, definitely be training with it. Go and get classes. I know when I was in grizzly bear country, I was shooting a lot, probably like 200 rounds every 2 weeks. So what is that, 400 rounds a month? And then the third suggestion is kind of keep your head on a swivel. This should be something you're doing anyways with the current, you know, climate and everything that's going on in the world. Definitely keep your head on a swivel and kind of like, you know, be aware of your surroundings, because that's exactly what I did to see this cougar. Is it wasn't in my way, it was off the trail, but I was, you know, doing 360s and kind of even surveying, kind of like I do now. And with everything that just happened recently in the last few weeks, definitely keep your eyes out, because I would rather be looked at as the paranoid person and be safe than the idiot blonde who just is fumbling around through the world and kind of just betting that that it's going to be safe. I'm kind of chasing the sun, because yeah, that's just not a good way to go about things. So definitely, oh, I see, it was a deer. Yeah, definitely be aware of your surroundings if you're going to be out here, and even when you're in the city, definitely be aware of your surroundings. So thank you for watching. I can't imagine anything else will happen in the next few minutes as I complete this hike. But yeah, if you like this, I'll be putting out more stuff and kind of different stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching.